Well, here we are again guys, turning a brand new page as we enter a new year and look towards the future. Last year, PlanetSide 2 had the unique opportunity that many games would only ever dream of getting, an opportunity for a resurgence of content and development manpower. Now that we've reflected on how the team has handled that opportunity, let's have a chat about what the next steps should be in the long run for 2021. G'day there once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today guys, we're going to have a chat about what PlanetSide 2 needs in 2021. Now, just before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video guys, I will mention quickly that I am using a brand new microphone for the first time here in this video. I kind of treated myself a little bit over the Christmas break, and this is kind of the result of that treating. So, I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What needs to be improved upon? I personally do like the sound that we're producing with this new microphone, but of course, you guys are the ones that actually watch the videos, so it kind of matters more as to what you guys think. Let me know down below. But enough talking about my horrific spending habits, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of the video. For those of you who were with us this time last year, you'll remember that we did a similar video as we found ourselves turning the page into 2020. But this time around, things are a little bit different. Last year, we had no idea what was coming and just what the developers had in store for us. We were kind of going in blind into 2020. However, this time around, we have a little bit of guidance as to what the developers have planned for 2021 and PlanetSide in general, thanks to their 8th anniversary live stream they ran about a couple of months ago now. I don't know, I've lost track of time. We know that they are prioritizing the new player experience, or the NPE. They're also looking towards the NS operatives and giving them an overhaul. They are looking towards improving both client-side and server-side performance via upgrading the engine a bit. And, well, they're also talking about bringing us a brand new continent this year. And while we haven't exactly gotten a roadmap per se of when these things are coming out, they are committed to these initiatives. So I think a good place to start today will be addressing these initiatives head on and sort of talk about what the deliverables should look like in a perfect world, at least from my perspective, from these initiatives. So let's start off with the most important one on the list, to me at least, the new player experience and the efforts to improve it. Right now, we know the developers have the tutorial and the character creation screen in their crosshairs for overhauls in the near future, and I do think that's a very good first step. The character creation screen at this point is as basic as it comes. It gives you a little bit of information about the faction you're joining, it allows you to pick a name, server, a head that you'll then have to go pay 5,000 certs to ever see again, and whether you're a male or a female, and that's basically it. I'd like to see a couple of things happen here. Firstly, I would love to see some mechanical information surrounding the factions and their unique elements. I would love to see some more factual insights as to what each empire's focuses and niches include. Actually show us the unique vehicles and max suits that players will be able to use per faction. Hell, maybe even give players an option to jump into a shooting range and test out some of the default weaponry before that player even finishes creating their character so they can best choose which faction they'll enjoy the most. To clarify, I don't want to see stats littered across the screen on the character creation stage. For a new player joining for the first time, these stats aren't going to mean much. It's going to be all about feel in the first impression stage. Now, something else that I think would be a great addition here in this new player experience overhaul is something that has actually already existed in the game before. And I'm not sure how popular this idea is going to be, but I'm going to shoot my shot anyway here. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with how RPGs let you build your initial character with some attribute customization. Fallout does this with the special system, Cyberpunk has your attributes, you get the idea. PlanetSide had something similar to this way back in the day. New players back in the day would be asked to fill out a form as they started their deployment to Araxis, where in which they would then be granted a free weapon that would best fit their answers on the questionnaire. Questions like, do you prefer to play a supportive or an offensive role? Do you prefer long-range or short-range combat? So on and so forth. The idea was good in concept, but it was a bit shallow. I'd personally like to see this expanded upon with the character creation screen. Allow new players to specify a quote-unquote favoured playstyle from the get-go, and maybe give them additional gear to help them get started. Or okay, let's say we wanted to avoid giving new players more free shit, because they do get a lot of freebies now as they join the game by comparison to what we did back in 2012. We do have the new mission system here to fall back on, so maybe, just maybe what we could do here is offer specialised training missions that that gives new players a questline to follow that fits directly in with the playstyle that they specified as their favorite, which would then offer them unique rewards that would again tailor to that playstyle. With the new foundation that we have with the mission system, the sky is kind of the limit here, and I think we have a serious opportunity here to help improve new player retention by sort of allowing them to have a bit more control over what their early PlanetSide 2 experience is going to be like from a gameplay perspective. At least they can tailor the rewards that they have in the early game to what's going to best fit their preferred playstyle. Now, from the perspective of the tutorial itself, it's a pretty tricky balance to find. One of the biggest places I think the tutorial falters is with its lacking explanation of how PlanetSide 2 operates from a battle flow perspective. You know, things like how to maintain a fight, how to get to a fight in the first place, you know, how to read the map, what a good fight actually looks like on the map using the tools you have. But in saying that, if you create a tutorial that is, 30 minutes plus long trying to explain everything in great detail, then you're going to quickly turn away players as they feel as though they have to give up half their time left on this earth just to get to the actual meat and potatoes of the game. The tutorial itself can't feel like a grind, so I don't envy the developers of being in a position of creating a new tutorial that has so much to explain in an engaging manner, and from a creative perspective, I'm going to leave that one in their hands for that reason alone. Now, as far as the engine improvements are concerned, I feel as though this is all about giving the game a big old cleanup from previous patches that kinda messed things up. Operation Make Game Faster, or OMFG, I'm kinda looking at you. And I make it no secret, I've always harped on about performance in PlanetSide 2 and how I wish this game could run at better frame rates on higher graphical settings. The game does have a lot of technical hurdles that it needs to cross to get the game to even run in the first place. I mean, it's unparalleled in scale and scope, but seeing the game cleaned up and brought up to speed on a performance perspective would be a great step in the right direction. I also remember when the game launched, it seriously looked fantastic. The physics particles, the tracer fire, the nighttime skyboxes, everything in general. The game looked seriously different by comparison to where it is today. It looked ahead of its time when it launched in 2012. Now, not so much. And I'm not gonna lie guys, I would really love to see those old graphical settings make a return. The players in the community who want to maximize their FPS are going to be playing on potato settings either way. And there's nothing wrong with that, but regardless of those settings being in the game or not, that section of the community is going to be left unaffected. I would love to see a return of at least some of the old graphic settings, especially considering that we are now operating on newer rendering technology since the major optimization patches like OMFG hit the game all that time ago. But obviously, I still want to see the game improve from a performance perspective too. I know it kind of sounds like I'm asking for too much here, but if the developers could hit that perfect balance of both as they work towards improving the PlanetSide 2 engine, I'll be a seriously happy man in 2021 here for the game. Now, in regards to the Nanite Systems operatives, the developers have made their plans pretty clear on how they're going to intend to overhaul the faction and its mechanics. They have plans to complete the arsenal and open the floodgates to free-to-play players while giving paying players the choice as to which faction they end up fighting for. Overall, I'm all for these changes, assuming, and only assuming, they end up completing the arsenal before opening those floodgates. We have already done an extensive video on the NSO and my thoughts as to how they should exist, which you could find linked at the top right of your screen right now, but it sounds like the developers have already got a solid plan in place here for our robo friends, so it's something to look forward to. Now, as far as the new continent is concerned, look, I just want to see it finished. Hossam was exciting when it first launched and all, but still seeing those construction sites littered all around the place is a little unfortunate after all these years. I would really like to see a new continent, whatever form it comes in, to be completed. I'd love to see some new facility types added into the mix, and I'd also love to see some new objectives explored with the new continent. I just want something unique and fresh for us to enjoy. I know with Assure, the developers were planning to forego warp gates entirely in favor of roaming Bastion fleet carriers, but who knows if they'll stick to their design there, since Bastions have kind of become war assets instead. We have new facilities coming to Esamir in Chapter 3 of the Shattered Warp Gate campaign, so we'll soon see how they play out and if the developers are on the right track, but I'm looking forward to playtesting those quite a bit. And those guys are all the major initiatives that we know of the developers have planned at this stage to hit on the head in 2021. But that doesn't stop what I would like to see from the game in 2021. There's one big theme that has really been harped on about in my stream a lot lately. If you've been in my live streams lately, you'll know I've been talking about this quite a bit. And that is battle flow and objectives for more areas of the game. I would like to see more aspects of the game start to see more meaningful objectives to play out with. And when I say that, I mean vehicular objectives. Look, one of the biggest points of contention in this community right now, without a doubt, is hash spamming. Tanks sitting up on hills, farming infantry. Infantry players getting annoyed, feeling like they can't do anything unless they jump into a vehicle, or in which they feel as though their enjoyment of the game is being crushed. Now guys, I've already done a piece in the past, which if you want to watch, linked in the top right as well, in regards to how I view the sandbox element of PlanetSide 2. To me, it's a part of the game, and to me, infantry players getting hit by vehicles, vehicles getting hit by aircraft, whatever combination it may be, it's going to exist in the game no matter how you look at it, and it's always going to be something that you're going to have to deal with as you learn to get into PlanetSide 2. However, the game is not perfect in this sense. At the end of the day, there needs to be more things for vehicle players to do other than heshing infantry, because right now, in being real, the only thing a vehicle player really has as far as an objective is concerned is to support allied sunderers for reaching a deployment spot, and also to stop enemy armor columns from encroaching on a defending base if need be. But once that sunder has been set up, or that armor supremacy has been established, there's not really much else to do other than to point your tank cannon towards a spawn room and just start flailing away, which again isn't the best dynamic in the grand scheme of things. So I'd love to see some more vehicle capture points placed around more bases in the game. Give vehicles actual roles and actual objectives to play out with, to participate in the objective of actually capturing territory in this game. I think it would go a very long way to contextualize more, styles of play in this game and really make the sandbox element of PlanetSide feel more meaningful for more players. I think the same could be said with, aircraft. I'd love to see the aerial anomalies come back and give aircraft players an actual objective to fight over as well. Those aerial anomalies created some of the most fun that I've ever had in PlanetSide 2 with the chaos that emerged from them. But yeah, that's just one more key point I'd like to see improved upon in 2021 with PlanetSide 2. Obviously, the developers have already got their plate pretty full at this stage, but who knows, maybe this is a design solution that they'll look at taking on board as we move in to the new year, and maybe with the new continent that they are allegedly working on. Anyway guys, that's going to be it from me. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to backhand the like button, it goes a long way. And if you enjoyed the video and you're new here, consider subscribing to keep up to date with the channel. And yeah, all the content we plan on producing in the long run, guys. We've got some very exciting stuff on the way for you, so make sure you are subscribed. As always guys, if you want to support the channel further, consider becoming a YouTube member. It goes the long way in supporting my content here and allows me to keep doing it more often for you guys. Once again guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care guys, have a good one.